Hello, I am Rojiru, and this is Byzantium Universalis. Welcome back, Legionnaires. I know it's been a little bit of an extended stay, vacation, if you will. Missed a few videos over the weekend, but let's make up for that now and get things rolling. For some reason, we're a little bit laggy. Hopefully that doesn't show up too bad in the recording, but we'll see. In any case, where did we leave off? I think we'll have to take some extended time to try and make sure that everything is running smoothly and we're not having too many issues with our stability, our income, anything like that before we decide on our next war. So let's, with brandy and stogies in hand, figure out what we're going to do next. Looks like we have the missionary strength guy still in tow, costing us 5 ducats a month. Even though that's the case, we're still in the green as far as net income comes. Net income comes? As far as net income goes. That gold mine in Kosovo is changing our inflation, so perhaps economic ideas somewhere down the road wouldn't be too bad of an idea. We've taken the first point in aristocratic ideas. Now, I believe I have addressed this in the notes somewhere. But there is a decision for Eastern Tech nations called Institute Liberum Veto, or Liberum Veto. And if my pronunciations are off on that, you have my sincerest apologies. Now, this event, or mission, or decision, that's the right word, has a few flavor notes attached to it. Now, let me stop stalling for time and read it out. Our nobility have come to us with an interesting proposal. If we were to grant them the Liberum Veto, they would in return give us substantial support during the current war. Although their offer is very generous indeed, some of our advisors are suggesting that this could just be the thin edge of the wedge. In fact, although they will get angry if we refuse them, they will most definitely prey on any future weakness we show to demand further concessions. Yes, I have actually used this button before when I was first starting the game and getting my butt kicked as either Hungary or Byzantium or somebody over here. You get a lot of negative events if you ever take this regarding the aristocrats, the nobility, getting all uppity, and you eventually have to beat them down, take down a large revolt. But if you're at a war, well, let's mouse over the requirements here. If you have the Noble Knights idea from the first idea in aristocratic, you have at least 6 cities, you're at war, and your war exhaustion is your war exhaustion is at least 8, which is huge. It's very hard to get 8 war exhaustion if you know what you're doing. Then you can institute this idea. Quick sip of brandy there. Now, if you institute the Liberum Veto, you get a buttload of infantry and cavalry. Let's try and count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get basically the perfect ratio of infantry and cavalry. 10 infantry, 5 cavalry. And that shows up in one of your provinces. You lose 10 war exhaustion. So all of your war exhaustion gets wiped away. Gain 100 military power and 30 army tradition. This is huge stuff. But you have to be at 8 war exhaustion. When is that ever going to happen? We can try, we can cheese it, we can block the strait in the Sea of Marmara, and just have the Ottomans sit on our Anatolian provinces for a while. That could work. We could definitely institute the Liberum Veto that way. And maybe we will. We'll just have to see how things pan out. Okay, now let's actually get back to the game, see what we want to do here. Let's go ahead and turn the speed down a little bit lower. I've been playing way too fast lately. Sorry about that, guys. You want to see what I'm doing, right? Okay. Let's see. Improve our prestige. That's going to be a no. I don't think we're going to get that up anytime soon. Restore the Pentarchy. The great Christian East-West schism brought about by the arrogance of Pope Leo IX in 1054 might finally be healed. As established by Emperor Justinian in 531, the Bishop of Rome is merely one of 5 patriarchs of equal rank, together with the ones in Constantinople, Antioch, Jerusalem, and Alexandria. If all 5 patriarchates can be restored to Christianity under the auspices of the Eastern Church, there is hope of a new unity So what this requires is that we take some provinces from, well, currently, from the Ottomans and the Mamluks, including Iskandaria, which is Alexandria, and I think it's Antakya, which would be Aleppo. We have to have Constantinople, which, we already have, and Rome. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one am I missing? Okay, we need Halep and Antakya. Now, Halep is just right next to it. In previous patches, this was one province, Halep and Antakya. They were just combined. Anyway, we have to have, Al-Quds, too. We have to have Jerusalem. And dynamic province names makes this Al-Quds. But it's Jerusalem. We'll restore it and put a patriarch there. What will that give us? 20 prestige, and we get an event. I think the event has some extra modifiers. More prestige, probably. And most importantly, it disables the papacy. So all the Catholic nations in the game, they no longer get to play the cardinal game. They no longer get bonuses from that. It makes orthodoxy that much stronger, and all of your Catholic opponents much, much weaker. So we'll want to do that if we can. That could put us at war with the Mamluks, who we haven't fought too much since we took islands from them. But they do have a pretty significant standing army. And they're allied with Morocco and Persia. I don't think we can beat them in a land war right now. As it stands, we're still kind of small. And we'd have to drop off troops by boat, which makes it that much more difficult. Or we could fight Rome. Papal state is actually rather large, allied with Aragon, Brittany, Mantua, and Flanders. Flanders is a pretty strong 3-province minor. Brittany, they've actually taken provincial provinces, so they're a little bit larger than usual. Aragon, which might actually be my largest concern. And the Papal State by themselves, let's see what their fleet looks like. Okay, Papal State. Or is it the Papal State? The Papal State. Okay, they have no fleet to speak of. How about Aragon? 4 heavies. Oh, my lord. 4 heavies, 9 galleys. Well, that might be out of the question, actually. We only have 29 galleys. Going up against 4 heavies? I guess we could do it. It would just be a little difficult. We are behind on Diplotech. We get new galleys at level 10. Maybe fighting the Italian states in Western Europe would be better thought of at level 10. Because then we could definitely get naval superiority. As it stands, we're ahead of time. 8 years ahead of time on military technology. So that puts us on par with the Papal States military tech. Perhaps that's not the best idea. Well, then it comes down to fighting the Ottomans. They are our closest neighbor that we could really beat up here. Circassia I did want to actually beat up, but it looks like the Ottomans are going to take some provinces from Theodoro and Circassia. Maybe that's out of the question for the moment. Now the Ottoman armies are probably pretty massive. We'd have to have help from our eastern allies. Their manpower is low, but they do have 40,000 troops in total. That's twice ours. Let's see if we can get any assistance. No. Poland's massively in debt. Hungary's best buddies with them, apparently. And Wallachia is, I guess, helping out Novgorod? The best we could hope for is to get into a defensive war with the Ottomans. That way our allies would automatically be called in. Hungary kind of hates us, since we're taking provinces they want. I couldn't actually break this. Oh, but we could get an alliance with Austria. That would strain our Diplo income. But I think that's the way to go. Yeah. In any case, I'd much rather have the alliance with Austria than Hungary. But seeing as we can get all the big powers from over here on our side, I'm kind of liking this idea. Oh, our Diplo points are so strained. What do we have on Cord? Konya. Interesting. Well, we can go ahead and core that. Yes, I will take that royal marriage. How amazing would a personal union be with one of these guys? Let's get a von Habsburg, a German, on the the Byzantine throne. How about that? Okay, would Austria help us out? No. Distant war. Maybe I need a land border with you guys. Oh, Venice. Burgundy, Switzerland. Burgundy would help. But Austria has a truce. Their truce is up in 2 years. February 1499. Well, let's go ahead and get some things in order. Maybe build up a few more boats. Improve relations with our dear allies here. Yes, we will save the Greek people in Corfu. And at the same time, take the province of Istria if we can. For that to happen, I'd want to make sure that I have military access through Hungary. Okay, we do have military access, and to help out our relations, I'll give them military access. Haha. We'll go park a troop up in, park our regiments up in our Serbian lands. That's the highest support limit there, so in case our general with maneuver dies, negative 25, they won't take attrition on a monthly tick. Yes, that is the case. If you have a high maneuver score, it lowers the amount of supply limit that you need to actually not take attrition damage, if you didn't know. Anyway, we'll set them on Ragusa. It has a pretty high supply limit of 35. We'll just park them there. I don't think we can fabricate. No, we can't fabricate on Venice. However, Dalmatia. Oh, I so wish I could take these provinces from Hungary. Go ahead and get a royal marriage with them. More royal marriages doesn't hurt. If you have 6 royal marriages, that is the best way to get a personal union. That's like the absolute limit as far as the post goes on the Paradox forums. Anyway, we do want to build up some more boats. No, we don't. We're full up on boats. Well, how about buildings? We could build shipyards. That would just make the boats faster to build. I definitely want to build a trade post in Constantinople. For the time being, we don't need the level 2 advisor. That'll give us 10 ducats a month. Since we're planning on going to war with Venice, that should be better. Hey, try to ease the tension. Good stuff. Now we're just waiting for another year to pass here. That way we can use Austria to beat up Venice. Yes, yes indeed. Let's take another sip here. Hope that's not against YouTube policy to mention what I'm drinking. Oh well, we'll see. Oh, who's at war here? Aragon. You are at war with Genoa province and Hungary, attacking Genoa in the Aragonese conquest of Albinga. Did the Shadow Kingdom... Yeah, the Shadow Kingdom event fired. Now they can fight the Italian provinces with impunity. Aragon's getting big and strong. I hate to say it, but I actually hope the Iberian wedding fires, so Aragon stops messing about here. Yeah, they even have Naples under a personal union. This is going to be a rough one, guys. It's going to be rough to take anything in Italy if Aragon's still kicking around with Naples under a union. I wouldn't even be surprised if they, incorporated them before too long. Music currently playing King's Court, and that's what this song's called. How cool. Okay, you're still allied with Burgundy and Switzerland. Austria would help. Excellent. Okay, before we do any of that, let's get our navy in place. We would like an admiral. That way we can beat up on the Venetian fleet more easily. Is Venice actually in this war? Are they fighting currently? No. Okay. So we've turned on our... Hey, Caraman Court. We've started paying our soldiers. Let's move them up to Donji Kraji. Get them in line to take Istria as soon as possible. I don't want Austria sitting on it and not letting me take it. I do want to get that border with Austria. Okay. Let's call in Austria. Call in Switzerland. Call in Burgundy. Do it. They should be pretty hampered all around. Let's see if they have any boats out here anywhere. Nothing I have to really be worried about. Austria has a decent fleet with a heavy, too. How about that? Okay. Now we just have to go sit 9 troops on Corfu. Easily done. Hopefully... Oh, Hungary is getting beat up. Hopefully they have their treaties annulled with Hungary. That way we can beat them up and take their stuff. For Croatia. I really don't want any more of Hungary than Croatia. Like, we're going for historical Roman borders. That means taking Croatia and nothing else. Carpathian Basin is all theirs. Okay, we have taken their capital immediately. Good job, Austria. See if we can blow up their navy. Maybe fish for a few boats. Captured 1 ship. Excelente. We gained another galley. Now, where are you guys hiding? In Verona. Okay, let's try and heal up our ships. Hey, military power. Always nice. Yes, we will take the inflation for Diplo. Yearly prestige, yes. It doesn't matter what the costs are. Prestige is nice. This could not be going better, guys. Now, I kind of want to sell Istria to Croatia, but at the same time, I want the Western arms trade. We'll have to think on that. Okay, lose 100 admin to lose 2 inflation, or gain local autonomy. Yeah, it costs 75 admin to lower 3 points of inflation. Or 2 points. Oh, I was mistaken. But still, that's a 25 admin point loss, and we can just, you know, sit on the provinces that we have. Serfs properly exploited. Our policy of serfdom has yielded results, as our landowners have recently made extra special efforts to exploit their serfs. That's why we keep them in their place. Now, this is an aristocratic event from the Aristocratic Ideas chain. Goods produced plus 10%. Now, you can get an awful lot of negative events from taking this idea, too, so just don't think it's all positive. And yes, we are playing on a higher speed, but that's fine. It would be more fine if I remembered what I was doing. Okay, we need 9. So we'll take 11. Does that sound good? No, we'll take 10 just to make sure that attrition doesn't keep us from getting siege progress. We have a really crappy leader right now. RR. Heir and ruler, poor enough to make them into generals. Our heir is pretty crappy, so he will become a general. Sorry, but that's the way it works. Unfortunately, no siege progress. Oh well, we'll just set him on Corfu. Now, I am correct. This only needs 9, right? Needs 6. As I said before, we'll keep 1 extra on there. At this level of fort, level 1, having 5 artillery only gives me the 4 artillery 2+ bonus. So we'll go ahead and build another artillery, just to get the maximum bonus out of that for a cheap price of $9.95. Hopefully Austria has enough troops to beat up Switzerland and Venice. Who knows, maybe they don't. And I'm hoping beyond hope that they have annulled their treaties. No! Damn it. Did the war end inconclusively? Why didn't I get a message about this? Hungary have accepted peace with Aragon. Hungary will be forced to give war reparations and ducats. Nah, whatever. Maybe in another war that I don't get called into. We'll see. Come on, Austria, beat these guys up. They're nothing. Even Croatia's sending 5 troops at it. Oh, and I can call Hungary into the war. It's not necessary. We're already sieging down the war goal pretty easily. We've taken Istria, which is what we want, and we'll have to pay a Diplo for, unfortunately. But we'll get 2 provinces out of this, and some strategically viable areas. Istria, for example. Okay, Corfu's down. Lose 25 Diplo. Ugh. Who asked for your opinion, court? Oh, that was a ballsy attack into the mountains. Wallachia wants a royal marriage. I think not. Come on, you guys can do this. Hopefully I can do this in the Bay of Venice, Gulf of Venice. Oh, we decimated their navy. But we didn't capture any ships. We also didn't lose any. Well, I guess I don't need to blockade anymore. We're all good on that front. Okay, capped out relations with Austria. Let's go improve with Poland. We've been neglecting these guys for a while. Hopefully they've cleared up their debt. We can get into a nice war with Venice. Okay, Venice getting sieged up nicely. Already at low war enthusiasm. Burgundy. Why are you getting beat up? You're fighting against one of your previous personal union underlings? They broke free and they declared war on Utrecht. That is embarrassing, dude. Okay. Venice, what will you give me? Give me Corfu. Give me Istria. Wow, really? I can take more. Oh, I want to be so greedy. Can I take Venezia? For 20 aggressive expansion. Coalition with the Ottomans. No. Really don't want that. But I really kind of do want Istria. I also don't want there to be a huge amount of war exhaustion on my end. Well, let's not be too greedy. I can make you annul treaties. That'll just make you weaker, and the rest of the Italian states will eat you up. I don't want to do that. War rep sounds nice. Can we take any money for 2 points? No. Okay. I'm good with a 30 war score deal. Venice will cede Istria and Corfu to Byzantium. Venice will be forced to give Byzantium 10% of their income, so war reps. It costs me 24 Diplo points. No big deal. I mean, we're hurting for Diplo. That's fine. 7 aggressive expansion. Efficient integration, which gives me negative 0.5 autonomy change for taking Corfu and completing the mission. We have a land border with Austria, which gives us Western arms trade. So if you have 150, I'll go ahead and show it in the triggered modifiers. If you have an opinion with a Western country that is neighboring you, you are Eastern, they are Western, you get Western arms trade, which gives you a 10% tech cost reduction, which makes Eastern tech only have a 10% penalty for taking new techs. It's pretty awesome. Now we have no war exhaustion because we barely participated in that war. So we'll go ahead and core these right away. Istria is Catholic, so I'm going to have to increase autonomy there and park a troop on it. And park our entire army there, actually. Now, Venice is no longer a rival. They're too small. Who do we want to rival next? France kind of hates me because apparently I'm a great power now. I'm a heretic. You're a heretic, France. Most likely I'll be fighting Aragon before anybody else because I want to take Roma. They're allied with Aragon. It just makes sense. Are we behind? We're 30% ahead. That means by the time we have enough tech points to actually take military tech for Tech 9, we can take it. Although it is tempting to go ahead and take the next idea, I think we're going to sit on it. We're not close enough to level 10 in admin for me to want to take more admin tech. So I think I'll just take tolerance of the new faith and get the next idea for Byzantium, which is repopulation of the countryside. Plague war and civil war have taken their toll on the countryside, leaving it devastated and not suitable for use. We need to encourage settlers into the countryside to rebuild it as a base for our armies, which gives us 10% national tax, or 10% manpower, which is great. More manpower is always good. And goods produce modifier, which, depending on how you look at it, is a good and a bad thing. In any case, we've just won another war against Venice. We have kicked them out of Greece entirely by taking the last bastion of the Crusaders from the Fourth Crusade, Corfu. It's once again under Greek control, although they've converted it to Catholic, the bastards. In any case, another war won for Byzantium, another conquest for us, legionnaires. Join me next time in Byzantium Universalis. I have been Rojiru, and good luck.